How's it going, you guys? It's Scott with Everyday Solar, and today I want to show you a few different options you have for critter guards for your solar panels. Now, the most common use case is to keep kind of pigeons or squirrels or other critters from camping out and making a home underneath our solar panels. And for me, there's an additional benefit. For the 6 panels I have on my detached garage roof, there is a tree kind of overhanging that. It doesn't really shade those panels, but does drop a ton of leaves and sticks and just debris on those panels and up under those panels. So I'd like to keep things from gathering underneath those panels, which will really just add up over time. It's kind of a pain to get out. I got to get on the roof, get out my leaf blower, get out something to kind of claw it out from underneath those panels. And it's just something I want to avoid in terms of the maintenance and cleaning of the panels I need to do long term. Now I'm going to show you 2 different options, kind of a high-end option. There are some benefits there, and then a common lower-end option. I'll give you the price points of that, and I'll do full installations using the higher end on this one panel here, and then the lower end around the circumference of my 6 panels on the detached garage roof. I'll show you the differences in installation so you can make a smart decision on your own application. So first up is going to be our higher end option. It comes in actual 4-foot lengths of kind of a punched 5.5-inch sheet of galvanized steel with a PVC coating. It does have some rigidity to it, especially compared to our second option. And then the way you attach it with the brackets that are going to lip up underneath your frame of your solar panel. And then you have these 2 threaded studs coming out, which are going to use wing nuts to tighten up. Now there's a link in the description for this exact one, but you can expect to be around $3 per linear foot. So you need to check your perimeter or the circumference around all the panels that you want to cover, and then multiply that out by a 3, and there's definitely going to be some type of loss. You can see I need to cut here around my mini rails, so I'm not going to get the full 4-foot section. I'm going to have to cut some of these off, and I will have a little bit of loss. So I'm going to hammer through this installation. We'll go ahead and move on to our second option, do that installation, and then do pros and cons at the end of each one. So now I'll fit in just a straight piece here between my 2 mini rails. It's almost 48 inches, but I will have to trim it on that far end. We'll put the bracket on, hooking it on the bottom side of the frame, and then put the 2 wing nuts to hold it in place. I have this guard actually hovering above the asphalt shingles. You see the second option will actually be contacting the asphalt shingles all the way around. Because this one has much better attachment with those brackets, I want to just have it hovering and it's held into place, and it really, because it has a little rigidity, holds its shape really well. So I'll finish this up, and then you'll see a corner piece going in here where I actually connect 2 pieces together on one bracket in the middle there, tightening up the 2 wing nuts. And it's very easy then to crease that, creating the 90 at the angle on the corner of your solar panel, which makes for a very clean installation. So we'll put one more on there, trim it to shape right on the side of the mini rail, and then finish off with our last attachment here at our final bracket. So first option is installed, and overall I like it a lot. Now this is the higher priced option, but it looks fit and finish. It's solid. It should hold up for years and years. And with his wing nuts, no needed tools. You can tighten those up, you can move things around, you can take a piece off if you need to. Super easy to work with. From a con standpoint, I mean, price is higher, but I would say maybe the wing nuts just take a little bit longer. Sometimes wing nuts, you can really spin those on and it goes halfway just with one spin. That's not the case here because these do have the coating on them as well. So there's a little more resistance, and you really have to spin those on all the way down. So it takes a little extra time. So let's move on to our second option over on the 6 panels, which is more that mesh design. Now both that single panel and the 6 panel right behind me that we're going to run the mesh around are DIY setups. If you guys are looking to completely offset your monthly power bill on your own home and go grid tied, that is most likely a professionally installed system. Now, I would not snooze if you're interested on getting a professionally installed system. I know in my area I have renewable energy credits, not sure how long those are going to be around, and then also we have one-to-one net metering. Both of those, in addition to the 30% tax credit federally, made it very attractive for me to get panels on my home in 2023. Now, I started off just getting an idea on how many panels I needed to offset that monthly power bill and how much would that cost. You'll see a link in the description. You can put your monthly power bill in addition to some details on your home, and within just a couple minutes, you get that estimate on how large of a system you need and roughly how much would that cost after your federal tax credit. Then if that's something you want to progress with, they can connect you with local installers where you can start to get real quotes and vet those installers to see if that's the partner you want to team up with. So let's go ahead and jump back in and install the second option for a critter guard. Now the second option is truly just mesh. It's 6 inches in width and it's a 100-foot roll. You can get all types, you can get 8 inches in width, and they all come in about 50 cents to 75 cents per linear foot. That is compared to our superior option in terms of its overall quality at $3 per linear foot, which was option number 1. This one only is mounted on one attachment point, and that is an aluminum hook that goes up around the frame, and then there's these little friction washers that you push into place, and that's what's going to hold it. It is critical that this mesh is wider than your gap because you want the bottom to actually be pressing against the asphalt shingles, and that's going to work with your aluminum hook to kind of keep it in place and hopefully not moving long term. Now those hooks, once you get them installed, you wouldn't want to go back through and go ahead and trim those off. I started off, you can see the one was pointed up. I actually preferred pointing it down so it doesn't catch on anything in the future, and I moved everything to down at the end of the install. So going around corners is a little tricky. You're gonna have to cut out the bottom edge to get it to flare out around that corner. And then I have Snap-in Rack's top speed mounting here. And this one has a lot of surfaces that I need to cut around, but with tin snips, it makes quick work of it, and you just kind of keep unrolling that roll, trimming around, and then putting your aluminum hooks to get everything in place. And I should mention, since this is a continuous roll, if you can do a similar install, you'll have very little waste. So if you have 90 feet of perimeter space that you need to cover, a 100-foot roll will be plenty for you to install. Now I'll complete this installation cutting around our wires at the top and then also finishing that far side. But then let's go ahead and kind of compare and contrast the two, and then you guys let me know in the comments which one you have installed or would prefer. So for the mesh on our second option, I'd say from the pro side, the cost, it's much less expensive. It's probably 5 to 7 times less expensive than option number 1. And ease of installation. It goes in pretty fast. You can kind of cut around things very easily with tin snips. So it ended up being quite a bit faster than the first installation per linear foot. Now from the con side, it does not look as good. It's kind of wavy. That's probably going to work loose over time because remember, we're kind of pressing against the asphalt shingles at the bottom. And the attachments, those aluminum hooks with the friction disc, you got to think that might work loose over time. So keep your extra hooks and those extra discs. So if you need to do any tune-ups in the future, you can and kind of pull it back into place. So which one would I use? If I had very visible panels, I like option number 1. It's way more expensive, I know that, but it looks way, way better. If I had panels on the back or it's just a DIY install, I would go with just this mesh. It's gonna do the job. Hopefully it stays in place over the years and doesn't work loose, and you're gonna save quite a bit of money. Now, if you wanna check out the video where I actually installed these 6 panels with the Snap-in Rack top speed mounts, which are really cool mounts for DIY projects, check out this video right here. I'll walk you through the complete installation. So thanks for joining me on this video, and we'll catch you on that next one. Take care.